All right. How you doing, everybody? It is Adam Cast IRL today. I am a little bit early. Normally I go at 6:30. It's obviously I've got like 40 seconds, but you know what? I was just having a really good conversation and I'm like, you know what? I want to go live. Let's just go live a little bit early. Today, I have the pleasure to introduce Philip Anderson. Philip, welcome to the show. Welcome.
I'm honored to be here, man. Thank you so much for having me on, Adam. Finally, I can say my piece, and it actually be like fair without,
Yeah.
a bunch of lies being told about me from strangers who don't even know me. So they use
That's
that to
true.
justify what they do to me. Yeah.
Yep, and I've seen it, and I've seen what they try to spin. I hear all sorts of crazy stories about who you are and what they want people to think you are. But really, we're going to get into that. Philip is an activist. Now, I first discovered Philip, I would say 7 months ago, maybe I guess around May. You went out to Portland, or maybe you were still in Texas at the time when you made that video. You basically did a video. You just looked at the camera and said, I'm pissed at what's going on, these riots, this injustices that everyone's saying is happening. And that video went wild, right? What were you saying? Millions of views, right?
I called out the Black Lives Matter movement for the fraud that it is. And I said,
Right.
George Floyd has been dead for over a month now. This has nothing to do with them. This just has to do with the fact that you don't want Donald Trump to be president because we've had thousands of George Floyds, thousands of Breonna Taylors, and they
Yeah.
didn't even show the full context. They just show a guy with a knee on his neck, which obviously I don't think it's a good picture to show or a good video to show, but that's not the full
Agreed.
context because he was flipping out on drugs, jumping in and out of the police car. And he was the one who asked to be, he said, let me lay down, just let me lay down. And the police officers gave him 10 minutes straight where they just weren't, he wasn't following instructions at all. And
Yeah.
even when the full context comes out, they continue to be frauds. Like in Lancaster, where this guy literally jumped at a police officer with a knife and ran after him down the block. Police
Right.
officer had to run around and shoot him. And then they tried to burn down Lancaster over that, tried to destroy the police station. And then when the full footage comes out showing that it's just not true, they still tried to do it. But the local level government there said, we're going to arrest you and you're going to go down. It's going to be $1 million bail. And everyone stopped doing it. That's how they all should do it. But yeah, I just called out Black Lives Matter movement. And I said, this is just, a political movement against the president of the United States. This has nothing to do with black people. They've
Yep.
raised over $1 billion. They've raised more than enough money to free, the slaves right now, the over 9 million plus slaves in Africa, but they're not freeing the slaves. They're not giving the
Yep.
money to black people. It's all to the Democrat Party, all to
Yep.
Joe Biden.
Exactly.
It's a political
I
movement.
agree.
So
Yep, yeah, exactly. It's a political movement, and not only that, I wanted to add, you mentioned some of the events that caused these riots. Uh, For each one of these events that they claim, there was any race. There was the same kind of situation that happened, with different people of all different races. It's not like it was just one race that was being targeted. It had nothing to do with that. I mean that's just one little clip of that whole thing. It's like, we look at, take a step back and look at all the different things that go on as far as, crime and whatnot. There's all different races that are involved in that. Humans in general can do bad things. And there's not all police officers are perfect people, like you said, it's not a good image to, number one, post, and for them to even do. So it's like, yeah, there, one could argue that, the police weren't right in doing what they did, but it's like it wasn't a racial thing because we see it happen to many different races. So,
yeah,
and then you bring up another good point. It has nothing to do with Black lives, because if they really cared about it, they'd be dumping that money back into minority owned colleges. Oh wait, no, that's President Trump who did that, actually. Or putting money into smaller communities or small businesses. But actually, no, look at the year now, all these small businesses are being closed,
yeah.
and
Small
it's
businesses
crazy.
have lost over $200 billion as all the mega corporations like Google, Apple, Facebook, they've gained, like billions of dollars, while all of us have lost money. Our lives being ruined. We can't feed our children, and that's the most ridiculous part about it is this whole COVID-19 thing. They're
Yep.
lying. You saw what happened during the Hong Kong protests, how millions and millions of Chinese people in Hong Kong rose up and protested against the communists, the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party. And it was right at the height of the Hong Kong protests that COVID-19 leaked out of the lab. Sure,
Yeah.
no one
Leaked.
believes that. What they wanted to do is they want to stop the Hong Kong protests, put out the virus, and you would think that, the anti-racist CNN, anti-racist Antifa, anti-racist BLM, they'd be like, wow, they're doing this to Chinese people, kidnapping them off the street, harvesting their organs, literally gunning them down when the cameras aren't rolling. Maybe we
Yep.
should talk about that. No, it's just COVID-19. It's Donald Trump's fault. Doing exactly what the communists wanted them to do because they
Yep.
work hand in hand together. It's an attack on the free world. It's an attack on the American people. It's an attack on all the people in Iran, in China, and Iraq that want freedom. The same thing what happened with Donald Trump. You saw how the government wanted people to step on the American flag, in the Middle East during that time, and they all just jumped over it. The doorstep jumped over the American flag, not to step on it. That's what it is, because the global cabal, it's Democrats here and it's communist leaders over there, and they
Yep.
work together to put who they want in power so they can continue the corruption. And that's what we're fighting against. And big tech is also part of it because they want to manipulate your perception of reality, like how they wrongfully banned me after they manipulated Google search results to put all these fake news hit pieces against me, but they hid the vast majority of positive news. At the time that you
Yeah.
Googled my name, it'd be nothing but positive stuff. Not even just from America, as you saw, it's from Brazil, from Asia, from London, even the Sun. They reported on Johnny Depp. They told lies about Johnny Depp, but still, like the entire world was talking about me for 2 to 3 days straight. So they just cut it off. They say, nope, you don't get to be a martyr just because you're fighting for free speech and you're
Yep.
not a Democrat and you're not a Black Lives Matter activist. I'm like, well, I am a Black Lives Matter activist. I'm just a real one, not a
Yeah.
fake one. I'm not
Right.
burning stuff down,
Exactly. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with believing that Black Lives Matter because they do. Absolutely. It's not an argument. No one's arguing that Black lives don't matter. That's ridiculous. I would say everyone agrees Black Lives Matter, but the organization isn't caring about Black lives, or rather all Black lives. They only care about specific ones because Philip, they don't seem to care about you much at all. Look, I can see you still don't have your front teeth. You got your front teeth knocked out from a Black Lives Matter activist. He's openly a Black Lives Matter activist. He said he was. He's been at many of the Black Lives Matter rallies. He knocked out your front teeth. How does that make any sense? I don't get it. Why don't you tell us the story about what happened there?
It was in San Francisco, October 17th, so a little over a month ago.
Yeah.
On Saturday morning, I was there, and we're going to protest against big tech. That's all, literally the only thing we're doing, protesting against, Twitter and Facebook and stuff like that. The only one that I actually named was like Twitter and Instagram. But all I said is a protest against Twitter and big tech. So they send all these goons out to attack us. They tell lies, saying, oh, Philip Anderson, he's like the prince of the Proud Boys. I'm like, I'm friends with the Proud Boys. I call myself a Proud Boy before, on Twitter and Instagram in solidarity. I'm not officially a Proud Boy. I never worn one of these. I don't even own one of those Proud Boy official shirts. Never been to a Proud Boy event. I was just friends with them, but they tried to blow it up out of proportion and being like, oh, he's going to call for violence. He's a Proud Boy. I'm just like, you got to be kidding me. The Proud Boys weren't even there. They backed out because they already saw like this is going to probably be a trap. And if we're there, it's going to endanger the other people. They're just going to be there for security. So what happens when these evil Proud Boys don't show up? The truly evil people come and they do this to innocent people, so that's what happens.
And you were just trying to get someone through the crowd to be able to attend your rally, correct? Is that right?
Yeah. ABC News covered it and they asked to interview me. So I let them come to my Airbnb, and then they completely spun the story, told nothing but lies, and tried to say like, oh, he's actually far right. And they showed the video of me literally ending a riot. And they said, Philip Anderson's far right activism brought him all the way to the Portland riots. I'm just like, you like after they did that, this is the very
Wait,
beginning.
but
I'm just like this
they
whole
showed
series on it
you,
was stupid.
because for those who don't know, now I've actually gave many props to you, Philip, because I watched you from a distance standing in front of these Antifa folk trying to burn down the courthouse in Portland. I don't know how many of you remember the courthouse in Portland and how much these people were trying to burn that courthouse down. This man flew to Portland and stood by himself in between, rather, all
Yeah,
of these people
5,000
and
known
the
Antifa,
courthouse
5,000 of them.
with his arms wide going, no,
Yeah.
you're not going to burn this courthouse down. This is not the answer. Violence is not the way. If you really cared about Black Lives Matter, you would care about me as well. And you clearly don't. And I got to give you props, Philip, because that is what more people need to be doing, standing up for what's right. And that's what I saw you doing. And mad props for that. Seriously. It was nice to see. It was motivating to me, because I have a platform, that I use and I speak out for the things that I believe in. And I saw you and I'm like, there's an American that's doing what he believes in to stand up for what's right. So props to you, Philip, for doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. I come from a country. It's like communist country. So
Where's
I
that?
didn't have free speech. Ethiopia, and right now people are fleeing the country.
Wow.
That's what's happening. People are fleeing in the thousands right now because of what's happening there, and that's
Yeah.
the reality of where I come from
What
originally.
is happening there? Tell us about what's happening in Ethiopia.
Political conflicts. Basically, the people are in fear of their own government, so they're running away from the country.
Wow.
You can basically Google it to get the full story on it. I mean, maybe DuckDuckGo it because, as you know, Google is evil is what they've done to me.
Although I do hear that DuckDuckGo is under the umbrella of Google now, so I don't even
Oh
know what to
gosh.
trust. So
Well,
yes,
I guess we got to fight to get news search engines. I already see how now we have new news stations like NTD News, OAN News. They're
yeah,
doing a great job. NTD News covered me. The Epoch Times covered me. OAN News covered NTD and OAN News covered me. And
yeah,
Fox News said they're going to interview me, but then they changed their mind
of course,
because they wanted to be. They said we have to be the very first. I'm like, okay, so then we got to do it soon. There's like 11 other people, 11 other like groups that want to interview me,
Publications. Yeah, yeah.
and they're like, we're the best, we're the most important, so we're not going to interview anymore. I'm like, okay. And then we see what's
Okay.
happened with Fox News, with kind of backstabbing Trump and all the Trump supporters. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of don't even regret at all that I didn't get interviewed by them. But
And
that's
you went
just
on Infowars, right?
yeah. I went on Infowars with Alex Jones, and that's where they spread the lie of the
Right.
GoFundMe is a fraud because he said that he's going to spend the rest of the money. After fixing his teeth, he'll spend what's left over on more political stuff like protests and rallies. I'm like, no, that means I'm the real deal. It means I'm not going to pocket your money, and
Right.
buy a Gucci belt or a BMW or Rolls Royce. No, I'm not that kind of a dirtbag. I'm actually
You
going
know,
to use your money to fight for America, save America. But of
yep.
course, they just want to destroy me, and they tell lies. And Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, even though they called, for me to be attacked for an entire month. That's what Berkeley Antifa, Child Loader, these people did. There's no consequences for them, even though they knew full well that they were lies. They used those lies as an excuse to, ban me off the internet. I'm like,
Yep.
believe me, if I was far right, I would not be missing my two teeth. You'd be dead right now. I know how to shoot and I don't miss. Okay.
Right.
So
Yeah,
these
it's
people,
interesting. I set that GoFundMe up. And there was $36,000. Now I don't know how expensive it is to fix your teeth. Like obviously you haven't gotten them. Oh, you have gotten some work done, right? So you're
yeah,
making moves to make it fixed because you actually did a new fund me on what site was that you actually did
it was
use?
Give, Send, Go. And I want to thank
Give
you
them,
for putting that up on your social medias. Thanks, man. I really needed that. So,
of
you
course,
know,
Philip.
now it looks like it's going to be like maybe every single penny from that
Really?
and a little bit more is going to have to come out of my own pocket. Not like a lot, but the thing that sucks is that the money that was raised, like that was perfect. It's like this is great. Now I can
Yep.
really build this organization. I can go out and I can fight all of America's enemies like big
Yeah.
tech and the CCP, and you name it, all of our enemies that are manipulating everything to try and make good people look like bad people. And you even
Yep.
saw they stole the election. Like that's why we're fighting, because big tech's mass election interference,
Yep.
they'll silence people like you and me, good people.
Hmm.
We're the real anti-racist. We're the real anti-fascist. We're the real anti, big corporations controlling everything. But of course, it's all fake. Black Lives Matter isn't really about Black Lives Mattering. It's about beating the living hell out of white people. It's about putting down the police while Donald Trump is president. It's about destabilizing, all the peace that's going on in these cities, to where violence will run rampant, and to where you saw the crime skyrocketed with
Yep.
what happened with BLM in Manhattan,
It still is.
Chicago, everywhere, skyrocketed by over 200% in almost every major American city. And
Yep.
that's how you know they're really not about Black Lives Mattering, because a lot more Black people died than ever before
Yep.
during this time.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. And not to mention that too, suicide rates are skyrocketing all over the place. And Japan, they just released CNN actually did some actual reporting. They were saying in Japan, there's more suicides that have happened since COVID, like the breakout of COVID, than COVID deaths.
Yeah, they
That's
lied about the
more
numbers and
suicide
everything.
deaths. That's insane. That people are killing themselves more than the virus is. That should tell people something. And then you also mentioned the CCP earlier, because wow, some crazy stuff has been coming out in the past few days about how the connection between UBS Securities and Dominion Software, and who actually owns Dominion Software. And then you think about the business guy that had that speech in China about how they're like, well, our guys on Wall Street were saying, well, we couldn't really make the moves that we wanted because Trump was kind of stopping us. But now that we've got establishment Biden in play, we're all green light all across the board. We're ready to go now. And who do you think put Hunter in these positions? Hunter Biden. It's like, excuse me? Like, how obvious does it have to be for people to realize that China wants to control the world? Not only do you have to realize it, they admitted it. They straight out said the world would be better under our control.
Their own
China said
citizens
that.
disagree. Their own citizens that are dead right now because they executed them behind closed doors. Their own
Yep.
citizens that are imprisoned just for running bookstores that had the words freedom and fight back in the books that
Yep.
they're selling. They're behind bars. Their own children that were kidnapped off the street, even out of their own classroom, because there's CCP spies in every building, every business, every school. They're sitting
Yep.
right there. So that's how crazy it is. And the most ridiculous thing to how out of control the Democrat Party is, to where they're true enemies of the American people. They're not even a legitimate party anymore. Is where the Chinese virologist went on Fox News simply
Right.
explaining the simple fact that this was made in a lab. This is not a natural disease or pandemic. This was made
From
in a
a
lab.
bat.
And they said, I said it came from flying cave rats. They said it came from bats at first. CNN lied, MSNBC lied, ABC lied. All the leftist news outlets and news stations lied. Then when the truth comes out, they finally have to admit, and even the WHO, those guys are full of crap too.
Yeah.
Even they had to admit, it came out of the lab, but it leaked out of the lab. I'm like, that's not true, because you would have told the truth in the first place if it was actually an accident, first off. Second off, look at the timing. This has never happened before. But when it does happen is when the entire world, not just China, not just America, the entire world is rising up for freedom, because Donald Trump isn't just seen as the president of the United States. He's seen as the leader of all the people who want freedom, who are hungry for freedom, are willing to fight for freedom. Even in Africa, Nigeria, they had a parade of like over 1 million people marching for Trump.
Wow.
And the media will never show you that, but that's how
I didn't know that.
is. Even people in Ethiopia, where I'm from, they're wearing "Make America Great Again" red hats.
Really?
The media will never show you that, but that's the truth.
That's
They
awesome.
don't do it so much in the Middle East because they'll get literally murdered right there and then doing that. But
I'm sure, yeah.
That's the whole point. Big tech is our enemy. They hide that truth. They hide those simple facts from you. Even when there's a bunch of black people that had a parade for Donald Trump, they took that entire video down with me. You see how they say Black Lives Matter, but they continue to ban and censor me when I don't actually break any of the rules. They didn't get any strikes, but they take me down off everything. It's simply
because you threaten their narrative. You are an African American that is like, I matter. I'm telling you I matter. I don't need a group to convince me that I matter, or to try to convince the rest of these people that know that I matter that they don't believe that I matter, because that's really what it feels like they're trying to do. They're trying to convince the world that people don't, they are trying. That's what it seems like to me, because it's like, you don't have to tell me. I know they matter. I always thought that my entire life. I've just been under the assumption all lives are valuable, and that's it. Period. No race doesn't even enter that into my mind. But
Yeah.
I am curious about how your path though. When did you first come here from Ethiopia? How long have you been in America?
Well, I was adopted in Ethiopia in 19. Well, I was born in 1995. Also adopted in 1995 by my mom and dad. Were missionaries in
Okay.
Africa for over 20 years. Yeah, and the media told lies
Oh
about them.
wow.
They're just a Texas family. I'm like, no, they're not a Texas family. They've actually from Michigan, and they went to Africa and to build churches and to help people during a time of, turmoil and it's just poverty still extreme there, and war really
Yeah.
because gunshots and everything. In fourth grade, sitting there in my art class in Bingham Academy. And then a bullet comes down and hits the top of the roof with a loud bang, and everyone starts freaking out. And I mess up my painting. Like, that's how it was there. Like my parents risked their lives to help Black people. And it's amazing how the media will hide all of that and then say, like, oh, these redneck Ku Klux Klan members adopted this Black guy. And they raised him and told him, go out there and
Did they say that?
yeah, dude, look at Newsweek. Newsweek called me a white supremacist. They said the same people who went to the
I saw
Unite the
that.
Right rally. It was such bullshit. They say the same people went to the
I
Unite the
wanted to
Right
ask you
rally in
about that.
Charlottesville. They said the same people went to the Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville, came to my rally. Those same people. I'm like, okay, well, where are those people? Why don't you say their names? Because they don't exist. It's not true.
Wow.
There's white supremacists there. Okay, say the names. They can't say names. There was racists. Say the names. You can't.
Right.
But of course, they can tell a ridiculous lie like that, then they can just ban me, and they use that as false justification. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. And what you said earlier about, destroying their narrative, that's the whole point. It's even bigger than a narrative. It's about control. They're saying if you want to be heard while you're a Black man, you have to be
Yep.
pro Black Lives Matter, and you can't say anything against that. If you want to be heard and you're white, you have to be pro Antifa, anti-fascist, or else you can't be heard. And that's the simple truth. Control,
Yeah.
same as it is in China. You have this illusion that you have freedom right now in America. You don't. It's just becoming more and more true to where the illusion is right here, and you're suffering, you're being silenced. Your small businesses, you're not able to make money, you're barely able to feed your children. The kids are just now starting to go back to school, I guess, from earlier. And even then, there's all these,
Some places.
yeah, and everyone's suffering more than ever before. And there's still this illusion of, oh, well, it's not because of us. It's because of you being a fascist. It's because of COVID-19. And I'm like, why don't you talk about COVID-19? Why don't you talk about where it actually came from? They won't.
Yeah. Or
Exactly.
the fact that the death rates among all ages haven't actually changed. I don't know if you heard about this, but John Hopkins newsletter released this study about the death numbers, okay, from last year, from the year before to this year. And there isn't some crazy spike because of COVID. There's actually just as many spikes of COVID deaths, there's that many less deaths from every other kind of death, because people die all the time, So there was 2,000 people dying from heart disease, right? For just one example, heart disease. Well, from May and April, all the peak, COVID deaths, there was that many less heart disease deaths and that many more COVID deaths. So it was like the same amount of people were dying, but there wasn't any extra deaths from COVID. It was basically just another flu/cold that people were in their systems, but it wasn't causing extra deaths. So this whole fear mongering, like you just said, it's about control. They
It's
want to
all a lie.
control everybody.
They say like about 300,000 people have died right now. Okay, over 300,000. So it must be really easy, to say all the names of those people. Oh, you can't say the name, you can't show the face. It's because it's a lie.
Yeah.
And
Well,
all of
I wouldn't
Donald
say it's
Trump's
a lie.
politicians.
No, that's where that's cause to say now they're spreading misinformation. Where the information I just said about the deaths actually was they proved that. That's actually a thing. Now, I don't think it's a lie because like even you said that virologist came out and said, "Look, they came up with this in a lab and spread it on purpose." So that's a virologist that came from China, right? She was basically a whistleblower, and the mainstream media was not giving her any play either. That was like you know, oh, this
They
person's
fact checked
crazy,
it on
like don't listen to
Facebook.
her.
They fact checked it on Instagram. They fact checked it
Yep.
on Twitter. And
Mm-hmm.
lots of cases, they wouldn't even let you watch the video. That's how ridiculous it is. But
Right.
here's how you know it's a lie, because you would ask them and they can't tell you the names, they can't show you the face. And all the hospitals, that are empty, you see all these nurses dancing and stuff. So there's another example. And then in
Yeah,
Florida,
that
for
ridiculous
example,
stuff.
in Florida, the Florida Health Department is proven that they completely lied. They lied about the number, and Candace Owens posted that. Everyone posted that on Twitter, and like
Mm-hmm.
that was Florida getting caught. I mean, imagine
Yep.
all the other people who lied about it, and they all
Illinois,
lying
for
because
example.
here's the thing: you don't have to convince people that something's that dangerous. It was that dangerous. You don't have to convince people, that a lion standing right in front of you is dangerous. It's a lion. But with COVID-19, they're having to do all this convincing when there's other diseases that have killed more people in America in the same enclosed amount of time. Literally, like 5 times as many people, actually about 10 times as many people in
Yep.
the same enclosed amount of time. But they didn't shut down small businesses. They didn't do this whole thing with, oh, you have to be, the required worker because you feeding your family is not a requirement. We don't care if you go bankrupt or not. We don't care. And then they're going to block the Republicans from giving people COVID relief that we all need.
Yep.
And yeah, they did that the entire time. And they lie and say, oh, it's because the Republicans wouldn't get it. That's not true.
No,
Donald
Nancy Pelosi actually just admitted, I think it was yesterday or the day before in an interview,
Even
someone
CNN
said,
called her out. Woof.
"Yep. Do you think it was a mistake to hold?" She was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa. Don't say it was a mistake. That was a choice. We made a choice specifically." And I was like, I don't think she even realized what she said there.
And who's
She,
we? Who's we? She's not talking
right.
about her own citizens. She's not talking about Americans.
Right. She's talking about her and her, the establishment that wants to maintain this power grip that they've had because they've controlled the mainstream media. The internet has broken the mainstream media and that's why you see, I don't know how many people have out there or if you've even seen this, Philip. It's this video of them saying this is a threat to our democracy, and then they talk about
9/11. The saying there'd be like 9/11 terrorists. If Donald
and
Trump
they're all the same.
concede, yeah, CNN got caught. Project Veritas exposed them with that. I was just
that's a whole nother thing. My goodness, the whole CNN and Project Veritas, James O'Keefe dropping some bombs. He's actually supposed to release another one today that's even crazier. It's probably out right now because he usually 3 minutes. Sorry, he usually releases them at 7 p.m. So that might actually drop soon. We can do that live if you want to.
Yeah, it'd be great. I'm down for that. One of the things that I think people should keep in mind is what was it they said? Oh yeah, they're calling Republicans sore losers right now, and it's beyond hypocritical. I'm like, first off, do they board up all these small businesses because Republicans are sore losers? Republicans are sore losers?
Nope.
No. They didn't board up small businesses because us Republicans are sore losers. They did it because Democrats have been sore losers this entire time. That's the reason that BLM exists. That's the reason Antifa exists. You didn't hear about anything about Antifa or BLM. They didn't even exist. They weren't even marching up and down the streets, beating people up, burning anything down until Donald Trump became president. They're the sore losers. And another thing about that is during the entire time with the Russia investigation and with them trying to contest the election, being like, we should look into everything. When Donald Trump won in 2016, did they have any sworn affidavits? No, but we have thousands of sworn affidavits.
Actually, funny you should mention that because some legal teams in Wisconsin found some essence of voter fraud and actually brought it out, and we're talking about it. And they brought it to the Clinton campaign saying, look, we found some stuff. And guess what the Clinton campaign did?
Nothing.
They lifted up a rug and swept it underneath it and
Yep.
sat on top of the rug. I guess we lost. He's an illegitimate president. Bah. Yeah, because they didn't cheat enough in 2016. That's what I'm seeing. I mean, man, and now I don't know if you know this, but so SCOTUS denied Trump's legal team in Pennsylvania in the Supreme Court today.
That was
That's
so stupid. It makes no sense. So like they have to understand. It's like, oh well, we need evidence, absolute evidence. I'm like, here's the thing: if you want evidence, more evidence, which is already mountains of evidence, do the investigation. It's like, oh well, we can't look into them without complete evidence. If the shoe was on the other foot, they would have already investigated every single state at every single level. So it's ridiculous how they're being like, oh well, there's no evidence. Like the evidence itself, we already have common sense. You're listening that Joe Biden got 12 million, actually 13 million more votes than Hillary Clinton. You think he got more votes than Obama? You think that Joe Biden got more votes than Donald Trump? When Donald Trump got more votes than any other president in the United States has ever gotten in history. He broke the record for how many votes the sitting president has gotten. But Joe Biden beat him.
No, wait till the numbers are corrected. Wait till the actual numbers get pulled, because they actually have a voting machine from Georgia that they ran 50 Trump votes or 100 Trump votes, 100 Biden votes, and it switched 37 votes over to Biden. Every time they tried it, it happened. Okay.
This same thing in Arizona GOP, 100 randomly selected ballots, and two of them were altered that were Trump votes. One was switched back. It was switched to Biden when they voted for Trump, and the other ones they just destroyed. And you saw in Georgia how they have these, 5 like secret suitcases filled with ballots, which is illegal, by the way. You don't put ballots in a suitcase or in a briefcase or anything, but that's what they did. They hid it under a table.
Agreed.
After they told, and they said, "Oh, a pipe burst," so everyone has to evacuate the building. Then they say, "Oh, actually, it wasn't a pipe that burst. It was a leaky toilet." Oh, a leak.
It was a urinal. Uh-oh. All right, so I don't know what just happened to Philip. Philip seems to have disappeared. Hopefully he will be back. I mean, honestly, I was kind of expecting this. I'm not joking. I thought that this video would be shadow banned. I don't know what happened, but this is pretty incredible. So I'm going to send him another invite. Hopefully he can rejoin. I mean, it's not like I've been talking about anything different than what I've been saying on my show normally, because this is the kind of stuff that I've been talking about. All right, and I just want to add, so this whole thing about the PA denying Trump's, whole, oh my gosh, I can't believe he just dropped. That's crazy. Can you imagine if, because I'm still live. Am I obviously, right? Am I still, I'm very blurry at the moment, huh? He just texted me. He said, it kicked me out. Wow. What is going on? And I am still live, right? This is insane. I'm gonna try to get him back on. Wow. You know what? Let's I'm gonna call him real quick. Let's just call him live right now. This is insane. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? I'm gonna put him on speaker. Hold on.
Hey, sorry, man, it kicked me out.
Philip, they kicked you out?
Yeah.
That's crazy. All right, I'm still live right now, though. People are saying there's it's bad, poor quality. But that's all right. We're still live. Listen. So I was just saying about, I emailed you a new invite link. Hopefully you could try to join back. All right.
All right. Yeah, try it right now. Yeah, that's really weird. Has that ever happened before?
It's never happened to me before. It's never happened to me before. It's crazy. So yeah, I mean, people in the house, people are saying about the internet. I am using the internet right now. Everyone in the house knows that I do my show between 6:30 and 8, and then I jump out so that the Timcast IRL show can have the full internet. So you should be able to get back on. This has never happened before. And there's no reason, everyone, it doesn't matter about my internet. There's no reason why it would have just kicked him off my stream, out of StreamYard.
It's time to start screen recording. I guarantee they're about to do some. They're about to do it, bro. It's time to start, bro.
This is crazy.
You will enter the studio as a guest. The host can add you. Okay, let me unmute. Won't let me start the cam. Won't let me unmute. I swear to God, bro, I'm not even lying. Your browser can't access your devices. Close any other apps that might be using your camera, less mic.
Wow.
If that doesn't work, try restarting your device. You can also try changing your mic. Bro, I closed all the other apps. I really don't know what else to tell you.
Wow, this is crazy. All right. Wait, I see you. I think we're it says you've says you need to connect your mic and cam. I see you though, so you're almost here.
You can see me?
I can see I can't actually see you though. It's telling me you need to add your mic / your camera. But this has never happened before. This is insane.
Oh my God, bro. Like, I might start screen recording. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I mean, I have you on speakerphone right here.
Bro, I'm looking at this right now. There's no way this is true. It says your browser can't access your devices. Close any other apps that might be using your camera / mic. Then refresh the page. If that doesn't work, try restarting your device. You can also try changing your cam / mic settings.
Wow. This is insane.
I was able to talk, and you guys saw me, the camera and everything. The mic was working fine. And all of a sudden, we can't do it now because of this, that. It's BS. It's BS.
All right. So Philip just got booted out. Everyone's telling my quality is back. So it's not my internet. Philip right here is I'm on the phone with him. He's telling me his browser now suddenly doesn't work with StreamYard, even though we've spent the last 30 minutes talking fine about everything being fine. It doesn't make any sense. So I can't. I could end the broadcast and restart it, but I don't know if that's gonna work.
It just said that allow.
What?
So I press allow. It's still saying it won't let me. Are you kidding me, bro? Like in real time? This is insane, man.
Yeah.
I really am the king of free speech. They really are making me own up to the name.
Oh man. All right. Well, listen, I thought, I didn't actually announce that you were going to be my guest today because I kind of wanted to keep it a surprise and keep it last minute. But because I
try restarting the phone and then come back. I mean, I don't want to give up.
Yeah, restart your phone and try to join in again. And then if it doesn't work, call me back. All right.
I'll do it right now. Okay.
All right. I'll talk to you soon. Okay. Man, Philip is a great dude. I can't believe it. I want to finish this thread in my brain though, because I can't. I want to finish it. So we were talking about how SCOTUS basically said denied the Trump team, and people were like, "Oh, that's it. It's over." And then Texas came out and said, "We're suing these states. Forget it. Forget the Trump team. We're suing him." That's states. That's the state level. Now I'm seeing that Louisiana, Alabama, what other state? Help me out, chat. I know there's a few others. Actually, let me pull up my Twitter. I know I posted a bunch of them. Let's see. Yeah, Alabama, Louisiana, and Texas. And there's many other states that are now coming on board with suing the 4 swing states that were using Dominion software that had all these fraudulent things going on with their election. They're suing them because they have everything to do with this election that everyone else does. They're being directly affected by it. So it's pretty crazy. I mean, I think that I think that this is something that the Supreme Court can't just be like denied, because it's the states. The states are getting involved. And imagine if, I just think that they're going to have to take a long, hard look at this whole situation a little bit more. Our chat is saying Kentucky, Arkansas, and Florida also. I did hear that Florida might have joined in also. Yeah, so all these states are banding together going, we are sick of this. We are sending it out. We are suing these states because we want this stuff in South Carolina and Missouri is also the chat is also letting me know that they are joining in, and this is serious. This is it. We're gonna do this. Yeah. So interesting. Yeah, I'm waiting to see if Philip can rejoin. We were having a great conversation about everything that was going on. He is currently out in Florida or in Texas, and yeah, my goodness. Yeah, I don't have much to talk about other than having him out. All right, he just restarted his phone, and he's gonna try to rejoin again. That's good. That's good. All right, I'm gonna spin this here UFO for him. This is specifically for Philip Anderson. Here we go. All right, chat saying someone in chat was saying that I've been throttled. I don't know, because I feel like I'm smooth now. Everyone was saying that the internet, my internet seems to have smoothed out a little bit. So I'm clearly still live. I have an excellent connection via the YouTube studios. I actually just got in touch with the YouTube studios, and they said that they're going to put me in contact with the people that do the silver play button, because I have over 100,000 subs. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna figure out some place to put that on my wall. I might put it over there on this little wall. You can't see it, but I'll be able to see it because it's kind of cool. I see Philip is rejoining. All right, good. So he restarted his phone and it seemed to work. Philip, welcome back.
All right, man. That was very strange. If it happens again, it's a fact that we all know it's them coming after us like that.
That's weird.
To stop me from talking to you.
That is very weird, because you tried to join in and it was telling me it wasn't allowing you to use your camera or your microphone. So it wouldn't let you I couldn't actually bring you back in. So that is odd. I don't think that was my internet. I don't know what it was, but welcome back, Philip. Welcome.
Yeah,
my goodness. Indeed. So we were talking about how the states are suing these swing states that have proven fraud, that is very clear fraud. They're very clearly connected somehow with China, which in itself is frightening. And President Trump's executive order that he brought forward in 2018 was basically prepping in case any sort of foreign country wanted to meddle with our election, that we'd have some sort of precedent laid out to handle that kind of thing. And that's what we're seeing, right? It's pretty crazy.
Tell you what, they need to give us investigations. So they don't give us investigations. I refuse to accept Joe Biden as president until there's investigations. I refuse to go along with anything they say. This isn't even a country anymore. They don't give us investigations, because the majority of the country, Democrats included, from what the polls have said, we doubt this. We don't believe
over 55% of the entire country doesn't believe that this is a real election. That's over half the country. How can we let this slide? Look, we just want transparency. I want to know for a fact. I want to know that all of the votes were legit votes. The legal votes were actual. Like, if he actually won. No one believes that he won. It's like 90% of Republicans believe it was fraud. 35% of Democrats believe it was fraud. Even a good chunk of the Democrats believe that this is fraudulent.
Even a good chunk of the witnesses who have the sworn affidavits that are coming forward in these voter fraud hearings, Rudy Giuliani, they're Democrats. They were working, and they're on as the there to count the votes, and they're Democrats, and they're saying, like, I just want a fair election, or else America will never be safe, and we can't trust the system. And I have major respect for those people. They're the moderates that will help us save America and bring the country together.
Agreed.
When it comes down to it, you see how Joe Biden didn't get more votes than Hillary Clinton in any of the normal states. It's only the swing states.
Yeah, I know.
It's only the swing
states that he needed. Yeah, come on.
And like, there's no way, bro. So you actually expect us to believe, that he didn't get more votes than Hillary Clinton in any of these other states. But in
Right.
the swing states, that's where Joe Biden got more votes than Hillary Clinton did this past election. No, I don't believe that for a second.
No.
Also, they'd have us believe, that there is no voter fraud, even though we saw the evidence in Georgia.
Widespread.
We saw the evidence in Arizona. We saw the
Widespread.
evidence in Pennsylvania. We see evidence in Michigan. We see evidence in Wisconsin. And they're saying, well, there is no evidence. They can't say there's no evidence now.
Widespread.
Now they're saying debunked. I'm like, okay, well, what parts of it are debunked? Oh,
the widespread part.
Yeah.
I'm serious. That's what they say. If you listen closely to all these people on the left, all the Democrats, they're like, there is no evidence of widespread. They always include the widespread fraud. What is your definition of widespread fraud? I don't care what kind of fraud there was. If there's fraud, we need to know about it. And I'm seeing fraud. All right. Are you denying the fraud that we actually have proven so far? Because there's fraud out there.
Yeah, and Twitter is exposing themselves beautifully by putting fake fact checks under every single tweet that Donald Trump tweets about the election results.
Yep.
Where it says,
and Instagram
this claim of voter fraud is disputed. I'm like, okay, how are you disputing it? Well, we're not actually disputing it. We're just saying that we don't like what he's saying. So we're going to put this fact check on there. When you press on the fact check, it's the same thing that comes up with all the other 300 fact checks we put on his tweets and other Republicans, politicians' tweets.
Yep.
Just like this thing saying voter fraud is very rare. Okay, it's rare.
It's rare. It's never before seen on the level that they're claiming. Yeah, okay. I know that. Because it's now unprecedented. Like, it's happening now at a level we've never seen before. Yes, that's the whole point.
Yeah, that's the whole point. It's like they're saying it's rare, and we're saying, well, yeah, that's the point. That's what you guys do. You lie, and there's no way after what you've done these past 4 years, that we're going to trust you. Even a big portion of your own party, the Democrat Party, doesn't trust what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because we've seen how they've been burning down America. We've seen how they've been attacking us in the streets. We see how they've been, attacking our free speech. If we want to protest against their attack on our actual republic, democracy, they do this.
Yeah.
We want to protest against them wrongfully banning and censoring all of us. They do this. We want to protest against their mass election interference, big tech's mass election interference, and the fake news media's mass election interference. They do this. And then all of a sudden they say, oh, the election wasn't rigged. The media is rigged against you. Big tech is rigged against you. Hollywood is rigged against you. The entire music and entertainment industry is rigged against you. Academia and the entire school system is rigged against you. But, the election, it's not rigged against you.
Yeah. No. Don't look. Just can you please continue looking where we're pointing over there? Look over there and stop looking at me. Now, we actually don't have too much time left. I really would like to hear about what you're doing. What are you up to? Now, you kind of clued me in a little bit that you're suing big tech. Is that right?
Yep, I'm suing them. It might take a little while, but I plan on winning because you saw what big tech did. They banned me on Facebook. They banned me on Instagram. They banned me on Twitter. None of the platforms could tell me why. The only platform that had an actual excuse, was Twitter. They could use the excuse of ban evasion, even though if I asked them about the past ban, they can't
ban evasion.
Why they banned me the last time. Yeah, that's what they do. They'll ban you wrongfully, and they won't tell you why. And then when you get a new account and it gets really big, they'll say, "Oh, well, that's ban evasion, so we'll ban you." I'm like, "What? Originally, when you banned me, what did I do wrong?" Well, we can't tell you why because just like the other platforms that they just banned you, they can't tell you why right now. So if you try to come back, they'll ban you again. They'll call it ban evasion. And that's why I'm not even trying to make another Instagram, another Facebook, because I know they're going to do the same thing that Twitter did. They're going to say it's ban evasion, even though they can't even tell me why. And that's why I'm suing them. I'm suing Facebook. I plan on suing Google as well. Definitely suing GoFundMe because, you were on it. You were the one who started the GoFundMe. And they took it down. They couldn't even tell us why they took it down.
They didn't even. Their only thing that they said was that it violated the terms of service, which I looked and I didn't see it violating any terms of service because we were very upfront about it. All the money is going to go to fix your teeth. We don't know how much it costs, but any money until the money is paid, the teeth are paid off. And if there is anything extra, that is for you to do whatever you want to do with it, because that's the way that works. If we raise $40,000, which I almost raised $40,000, it was like
been
30.
more. It probably would have been like 60,000 or 70,000.
Right.
It was incredible. And even though we didn't get the money, I thank you for that, dude. Seriously.
Well,
and
well, you know what? That reminds me. You mentioned earlier that what you did on remind me again. What is it? Give, send, to go. All right, might not have been enough. I'll blast it out there. Send me the link, and I'll. Is it still up and running?
Well, yeah, that one is. Some of the funds I had to use for like travel and expenses because I was still going out and doing stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I
saw
that.
A really good deal on the teeth, or I can get with a dentist, or the oral surgeon. He'll just do it for free. That way, every penny will just go towards fighting the fight. Yeah, that's the thing that really sucks. They didn't just take down all my social media. They took down the social media and the GoFundMe. It had been one or the other. It wouldn't have been that bad, but they did both because that's how desperately they wanted to silence me. So even
Google. So I've got a Discord, right? And I said, hey guys, just a heads up. I wanted to let you know before anyone else knows, I'm gonna have Philip Anderson on my show. And a couple people were like, oh, who's that? Runs to Google. Like someone said that as kind of a joke. And then a bunch of them came back like, this old guy, like there's these random
old white scientists.
These random, they're like, who is this guy? Like, we can't even find it. And then other members in the Discord were like trying to help out, like, it's actually this dude. And they actually started posting articles, which funny enough, didn't even have images of you. They had images of the guy that knocked your teeth out. And it was an article about you. And it was just all these images of the dude holding up his fist in solidarity. And it's like, what is going on in this world? Like an article about you being targeted for hosting a free speech rally, getting your front teeth knocked out by a Black Lives Matter activist, and he gets all the pictures. And there are pictures of him holding up his fist in solidarity. It's like, what is going on? This is crazy.
They say there's not an attack on free speech. They say there's not an attack on our right to peacefully protest.
Who says that?
The left, the radical left, the same people that came to knock out my teeth.
Yeah.
And you see how that's not true. You see how I was world famous for 2 to 3 days straight. And then they completely erased it. They didn't give you the freedom to read the news. The real news is actually popping up everywhere.
Yep.
They didn't give you the freedom to decide for yourself. They hid all the positive and would only show the tiny bit of negative, which none of it was even true. Not a single thing they said. I'm not just saying that to try and defend myself. It's a fact. You can bring up any claim they made, and it's not true. I can explain to you very easily how it's not true. And at the bottom of these like Newsweek articles or SF Chronicle articles, at the bottom would say, we reached out to Philip Anderson for comment. No, you didn't. You didn't fucking reach out to me. No, you're a scumbag.
Watch the language. Sorry, everybody.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
That's all right. So I also wanted to mention that after that GoFundMe went down, people started hitting me up saying, hey, I noticed that these Antifa accounts were targeting your GoFundMe. Look, and they sent me pictures of all these, screenshots of these Antifa accounts saying, Philip's got this, this like GoFundMe. It's raising too much money. Like, go report it. Go report it. Good job, everybody. We got it reported. Like, yes, another win for anti-fascism. It's like, that's fascism. You guys are the fascists. Do you realize? They don't realize.
After me. They're saying, "Oh, Philip Anderson is attacking us." I'm like, "When did I attack you? When
right.
Did I attack you? Oh, I
well,
did.
words words hurt them.
It's like, oh well, he's attacking us because he's saying that we attacked him. Well, you did it. You did attack me. That's all I'm saying. Do you expect me to just say, "Oh no, I fell down. I fell down the stairs. My teeth were knocked out." No, if you knock out my teeth, I'm going to say that you knocked out my teeth.
And that video went around. Everyone was sharing that video.
The funniest thing is that, then right when I say, like, this is what Antifa did, they said, that's not true. Look, the guy who attacked him is black. I'm like, what are you trying to say, Antifa? Are you saying that Antifa, there's no black people in Antifa? And like that's the craziest thing is that they silenced me so fast just so I couldn't even respond to their lies. So that's the first thing they did. They're like, oh, it was actually a black guy that attacked him, And I'm like, well, hold on. It was Antifa that called for violence against us. It was Antifa that called for the response. It wasn't Black Lives Matter. It was Antifa.
True.
That's the reason why everyone showed up, you know?
Yep.
And that's the reason why it happened. It was Antifa that told that guy to come and attack me. They're the ones
Yeah, and
who
anyone
drove
could
them
wear
out of-
black bloc, and it's mostly Antifa people that are wearing black bloc, you know, and it's like, it's so that you can't identify them. Well, newsflash, the dude had his arms up, had a bunch of tattoos, and they caught him.
One arm up. Why do you think he punched me with the arm that showed his black skin? Because they wanted to try and make it look like it was a black guy that attacked me. That's the reason why. The white people wanted to attack me in the group. They weren't able to. And they ran over to that black guy, like, go attack him. You know, that's really what happened. I'm not
Really
lying. And you'll notice, because in the video, you'll see all these white people are about to charge us. And I get
Yeah, I
right
saw
back
that.
in front of the I get right in front of the white dude that I was protecting.
Right.
So then all the white people back up, and the black guy comes in with a second sucker punch, knocking out my teeth. And they bailed him out of prison. They bailed him out of the jail for $100,000. So they say
Like-
that I'm raising too much money when it wasn't even my idea to raise the money. You guys decided to do that out of the goodness of your heart, and I really needed some help. And they said, "Oh, he's raising too much money." I'm like, "Well, hold on. You bailed this guy out for $100,000. That dude,
The guy who knocked your teeth out.
and when they arrested him, there's thousands of dollars of drugs in his home when they arrested him. So this guy's going to attack me.
They didn't report that on the news.
They did, actually. If you go and you look at what was his name, the guy, you know, the gay Asian guy, really good guy who covers the Antifa BLM violence.
Andy, no.
Yeah, it was in his article that he posted. He had a prior criminal record before he even came at me like that. And his stuff on social media, I mean, this dude was pretty vile with the stuff he was saying about the police and just Americans and veterans. It was pretty troubling, honestly. It was really bad.
Wow.
But yeah,
how do you know what? I just randomly looked over a chat, and I'm glad I did, because someone just asked, where is the donation link at? Where can people find that, Philip? If someone wants to go help you out and donate, and you know what? I'm just going to give a shout out to Ratish. Thank you for that, Ritesh. Sorry, I don't know how to say your name, but I really appreciate the question, because that's great. You know, where can people help you out?
Well, I was thinking about making a separate fundraiser, you know, that would just be for, you know, the separate things, which would be like going out and doing the activism, you know, fighting for your free speech peacefully, obviously not beating people. I had to say that just because you know what these scumbags do. It's really
they really tried to make it seem like you were calling for violence. And not once have I ever seen you call for violence. The video that they were showing, it's funny because you can almost tell that you're not done with your sentence, but they're like, cut it off, because you were saying that you were going to beat the S out of somebody, and then if you fit the end of the sentence in court, like, or peacefully, actually, is how you said it. I think.
Cut off, I said peacefully.
Right.
And they cut that part off.
You said it twice too. You're like, we don't need to be violent. We're gonna do this peacefully by the law, and use it for, you know, use the Constitution. It's insane.
And the people who went through and made it look to find the lies, they had to go through dozens of videos of me repeatedly saying, like, they have to scroll down Instagram to get to that one video, right?
Yep.
And even when they watch the full video and they know I wasn't calling for violence, obviously, they still use that video. And this is after scrolling down through dozens of videos of literally me just saying, Antifa and Radical Left, BLM, you're more than welcome to come to my event. I want you to come peacefully. I want you to give a speech at my event. I want you to debate with us peacefully. You can be more than welcome to walk into the microphone. And even if your speech is just calling Philip Anderson, me, every last name in the book, that's fine. We can make fun of it. We can have a good time. Say whatever you want, but peacefully. I said it over and over. And then they try to hide that. And then actual, like, not like the huge ones, like ABC News almost did, but then they backed out because they're like, it's not true, because they saw the full video. They still try to make me look bad, which they failed pretty badly at. The comment sections were beating the crap out of them. There's a bunch of black people that show up. They're just like, wow, so this is what you do when black people decide not to be Democrat. We get that whip, huh? I'm just like, yeah.
It does seem like that, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
So literally sad.
Take everything. But that's the craziest thing. Like, they banned me off Facebook, as I said. They banned me off Instagram. They banned me off Twitter. None of them could tell me why. All 3 platforms banned me in the same night. Then hours later, they manipulated Google search results against me to try and call me white supremacist and all these ridiculous things when I'm an African
That's
immigrant.
crazy.
I wasn't even
Yeah.
born here. Okay.
What?
Yeah.
That's so insane that I did see that, and I was like, how have they ever even listened to you talk ever? You know, like I've seen you speak enough to know that that is ridiculous. You know,
It is
you
ridiculous.
stood in on the front lines of freedom and got your teeth knocked out for free speech for all Americans. Like
Yeah.
you were yelling at the face of Antifa saying, this is not how us Americans need to be. Let's come together. Let's talk. Stop trying to burn everything down. This is where we live. What are you doing? And they just were like, oh, we hate you. It's ridiculous.
And the reason why they do me like that is because, you know, I am, you know, the truth. I am the true movement to a better America, a better world, you know, where you have freedom, you have free speech, you have liberty. And that's the reason why they want to destroy it, because they always want us to be fighting. They never want us to be able to talk. They always have to put a spin on it to try and make me look like this evil, nefarious, malicious person with ill intent to try and make people think, okay, this guy isn't a victim. He can't have a following. He can't have a voice just because I would win. I've always won. They just continue to cheat. But, you know, as I said, they banned me on Facebook, Instagram, and Google. Sorry, they banned me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. I didn't even post on Facebook. Okay.
Yeah.
All
That's
I did
weird.
was post one picture of the free speech rally, the flyer, and me 4 strikes for that one post, that one picture. Put me on a 24-hour lockdown. And while I'm on the 24-hour lockdown, they say you can't post, you can't comment, you can't message. While I'm on that lockdown, then they decide to ban me completely as I'm on Twitter saying, hey, this is the reason why Instagram banned me. This is the reason why Facebook, this is the reason why Instagram just completely banned me. This is the reason why Facebook temporarily banned me. And I show how they gave me 4 strikes for the one picture that says free speech rally. And that's against their guidelines for saying that, apparently. And it exploded, and they immediately took me out to try and save themselves. Didn't work out too well, went pretty viral. The sad thing is Republicans, the ones in power, they, unless Concerted Inc. tells them, you know, unless Charlie Kirk, Candace Owens tells them, you know, you need to stand behind this guy, they won't do it. And Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens don't like me because
why not?
If I succeed, you know, they'll look like frauds. Because it's like, why didn't you call for on any of your millions of followers to go protest big tech? Why haven't you said any of the countless American patriots who've been wrongfully banned off the internet? Why have you never said their name? You know, why have you never done that? And that's the reason why. That's the difference between the real deal and someone who's just making lots of money off of this and becoming more and more famous off of this. I'm actually a movement. I'm actually fighting for change. And that's the reason why, because everyone will hop on board with me. This is what you've seen, and they can't stop it. But they had to take away everything in order to stop it. So they banned me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Couldn't tell me why. Manipulated Google's search results against me to show all the fake news, hide all the real stuff, the vast majority of real stuff. And, you know, if you Google my name right now, the picture of this white scientist shows up from like over 100 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was literally nothing but pictures of me and videos of me, and they hid all of it.
Images, it's gone. You're not on Google anymore. I'm going to Google you right now and see what happens.
And then YouTube also manipulated their search results against me. And here's the biggest one, which is what I'm pretty sure will make me win the lawsuit for sure. I'll probably maybe get millions off of it or something, but I'll just give it all back to you guys because I don't like give a shit about money. I just want to save America. So Facebook put false information, fact checks. I'll probably give you like, you know, I don't know, if I win like 10 million or something, I have to give like 30% to the lawyers, and I'll give like at least 50% of what I get to give to you and Tim, because y'all are the big names that have my back. So if I win, y'all become millionaires. So
he's covered. He's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that would be incredible. Although I'm not expecting anything at all, you know, because I just as I said, I respect you for what you're doing, and I feel like you deserve it because you are a real patriot. That I mean, I feel like we are in a new form of information. I hesitate on the word war because I don't like war. I don't like violence at all.
Well, we don't want a war, but they're making it a war.
It feels like that. It feels like this information, Section 230. We've got the Ed Munt Act of 2012, because they made it so that propaganda can be legal in America, so that the news media can lie to us without abandon. Like, they could just lie out their teeth and it doesn't matter. That needs to be repealed, as well as 230. I mean, 230 needs a reform. We need basically a Bill of Rights of the internet. So, when you're fighting big tech, I feel like that's a big part of that conversation that we need to have, is the Edward Munt Act. Let's see if I'm saying it right.
Here's the craziest thing, Adam, that I don't even think you know about. So Facebook didn't just ban me the entire time, even to this very second. They put false information fact checks on top of every single video that people posted on Facebook of me getting attacked, me getting my teeth knocked out, even of me laying in the hospital.
Yeah. How is that fact checked?
Yeah, before
you literally got punched in the face.
And if you press on the fact check, you press on the false information button.
Yeah.
On top of the video, you can't even watch the video without pressing the false information button.
Wow.
It says Chinese holiday travel and resort hotel. Donald Trump got a Marine One on this day. It had nothing to do with me, because all of it was real.
What?
But because of that false information, that's why I'm going to sue them. I'm going to win, because they did
wow.
that to Candace Owens for something.
Yeah, I know.
But
right.
to me, they're saying that
right.
this is false information, bro. I'm suing.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, and they did that before they banned me, and they did that also after they banned me. So we all know it's not because I did something wrong, because I'm a bad person. It's because they wanted to hide what happened to me, and that proves they put these fake false information fact checks on all the videos of me getting attacked, me getting my teeth knocked out, me in the hospital, saying, "Hey, Joe Biden, thought you said Antifa was an idea. Well, this is what your idea Antifa did to me. You still think that they're an idea?" So
that's when you got banned.
I say mass election interference. I'm telling you that, about a third of the entire country saw what happened to me, and they didn't want the entire country to say my name. They say his name, say your name, not my name though. So they erased everything. That's why I say mass election interference, because it is. It wasn't a fair election, even without the voter fraud, with what the fake news media has done. And especially with what big tech has done. They banned tens of thousands of Trump supporters, Republicans, conservatives off the internet just 3 days before the election, even more thousands just 2 days before the election.
And China spent like $4 to $5 million in the past 6 months leading up to the election on our news media to do pro-China propaganda. And the act, I pulled it up. It's the Smith-Munt Act. So I don't know what I was thinking of. It's the Smith-Munt Act. And this is basically saying that people can, we can just shove propaganda down American citizens' ears. And that includes foreign governments. That's interference also on a foreign country is interfering in our elections, in our brains, in our daily lives. Like, how are we letting this fly? It's crazy.
It is crazy. Man. Because here's the honest truth. I'd already be a member of Congress if they wouldn't have banned me. Because as like a joke at first, I put easily a member of Congress. That's what I put in the bio of my first Twitter account. Then boom, like 40,000 followers on my Twitter account, just like that. Because my tweets are funny and everything's good and I'm unbeatable. No one can get the best of me.
Well, what's stopping you?
And ban. They won't even tell me why.
What's stopping you though?
What's stopping me? They won't even allow me on the internet, except for Parler. So you can find me on Parler.
How did they used to do it?
What do you mean?
I don't know. Like, I want you to if I feel like someone like you who's very, I mean, you're a college, you came from Ethiopia. You were in a, what seems to be like a war zone. You came to America. You realized how great America is. You're now a college student. You're about to graduate, correct? You're one exam away. So you're college educated now. You have a good head on your shoulders. You are standing on the front lines for free speech. You are just as American as anyone I know. You are a patriot.
Yeah, here's the craziest thing. Antifa and BLM asked me to join them multiple times. They're like, "You're really good." Yeah, like you were on our side. Like I'm telling you, they're like, We can make you famous. We can make you rich. And I'm like, well, I don't think you understand. This is about
I don't think you understand
Yeah.
me, do you? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and like so these people talk to me in person. They know I'm not a bad guy or anything, but then they immediately like this is what they do. The second that's like, okay, we have to stop him because he's too powerful. He's winning. I'm like, it's not even about me. Like any other person, could do what I'm doing, and they would probably be just as successful. Just has
Yeah.
to do with the fact that this is what the vast majority thinks. They see it happen.
Yep.
They see how no one's talking about it. And what's happened to me is proof of why people won't talk about it so much, and why
Yep.
even you were a little hesitant and worried about having me on. But of course, you're a real patriot, so you had me on. So I thank you for that. Hopefully, I'll be on.
I wasn't worried about having you on. I don't know. I don't know where you're getting that.
Well, I guess
No,
I'm
no.
assuming that my bad. Well, everyone's worried. Even like these big giant corporate news networks are afraid of having me on.
I have a feeling that I might be shadow banned or some sort of.
That's one of the things
I
I
don't
want to talk about. Yeah.
It's like, but I feel like I've already been on their radar for talking about things they don't want people talking about, because I talk about the election fraud. I talk about all the stuff that I'm seeing, which to me is very obviously election fraud. It's crazy. So I'm not going to stop talking about it, So
and enough of the mass election interference, because you're talking about the shadow ban. It's very real.
Yep, I agree.
They were shadow banning me since the very beginning, since
Yep.
2 years ago on my Instagram
Really?
account. Yeah, no matter how hard I worked, I couldn't get it to 10,000 followers, even though I gained 5,000 followers on Instagram in just 2 weeks. Then all of a sudden, for an entire year, I can't gain a total of 5,000 followers. It's like, what's going on? That's a shadow ban. And just to give you further proof of that, so right after I announced and that was on my other, because you have a main account and backup account. My backup account is the one that blew up on Instagram for whatever reason. I call myself King Free Speech, and then I changed my name to Team Save America after I announced the protest against big tech in our free speech rally in San Francisco. Right after I announced it, literally just minutes after I announced it,
boom,
I went from getting 3,000 to 6,000 likes on every single video or picture that I post, to getting only 50 likes on something I post on Instagram. So I'm telling you, I'd have 46,000 followers, 46,000 followers. Would have been hundreds of thousands, so they would have stopped messing with me, but they never did. But that's how real it is. I went from getting 3,000 to 6,000 followers to 3,000, 6,000 likes on a picture that I post, to only getting 50 likes on that post right after I announced the event. And they stopped me from going live by taking down these random posts. I posted a video of this Black Lives Matter dude stealing a bulldozer and driving down the street. Just a guy driving a bulldozer.
I saw that. I remember that video.
They took it down and told me I'm not allowed to go live temporarily. And then they took down another post 2 weeks later that showed a Trump supporter getting chased by, one of these Antifa guys. Yeah. And they took it down saying against our guidelines. I'm like, but the news posted that video. You didn't take it off Fox News. Or I changed it.
Well, you're on the list. That's
so for 3 months straight, they stopped me from going live on Instagram. Why they do that? Because I have like over 45,000 followers. And whenever I go live, I'd have over 100 live viewers. But then it immediately went down to only being 12 or 6 live viewers every single time. Couldn't escape it. Every single day, no matter what the time was, even on the weekend nights, on like a Saturday night or Saturday morning, it was impossible. And I'd always talk about, I'm like, hey guys, look at this. And I posted pictures and videos of me while I'm live. I posted a video of it like that, being like, I just started this live video to show you guys, look at the amount of people going live. I'm like, okay. And I get hundreds of messages from people saying, I can't find you. Whenever you post something, it doesn't show up on my Instagram feed anymore. Whenever you post something in your story, it doesn't show up in the story list. I have to type your name to the very last letter just for your account to show up.
Wow.
And there's other accounts will show up that only have like 10 or 5 followers before mine does. Even when you type out my full name, it'll be at the very bottom, like under these like no profile picture, 5 or 10 follower profiles. I'll have over 45,000 followers. So while Antifa is calling for violence against me for an entire month, they see all of this. They see
Yeah.
all of this. They know why I'm going there. They see that I'm being shadow banned. They see that I'm being censored. They see that I can't go live. They see that I'm talking about. They see that Instagram deleted 600 followers in the middle of the night, right at midnight. Poof, 600 followers gone. The next night, poof, 700 followers gone. The next night, poof, 1,000 followers gone. Every time, right at midnight when people are asleep. So I stay
Yeah.
up late.
Weird.
I'm saying, look at this. And Antifa sees all of that. And they pretend like they ignore it. And then they say, oh, this guy, he just came to start violence. I'm like, dude, these people are evil. They saw
Yeah.
all of this. And then
Yep.
they pretend they didn't see it for an entire month. So
It's
yeah.
a shame. Well, Philip, I would love to continue this conversation. We got to get to the super chats. There's a bunch of super chats. I'm sure there's some questions for you. We don't have too much time left because I do a hard stop at 8. But before we do, I just want to say thank you for joining me. It's been a pleasure to actually,
No,
just
Adam,
rap
thank
about stuff.
you. Thank you. Seriously.
Yeah. Oh, it's my pleasure, bud. All right. Matthew Perkins says, God bless MF in Texas. Let's hope SCOTUS doesn't chicken out. Of course, we talked about that. That's Texas suing those swing states. I'm right there with you, Matthew. Joshua says, need to occupy DC movement ASAP. Those courts feeling no urgency. If nothing changes, we need a peaceful, permanent presence in DC. I'm not going to comment on that because I don't know what the right path forward. I just believe that SCOTUS is not going to turn away the states, especially when there's like 6 or 7 states now that are going up and suing these swing states. DJ Ronnie says, look into Yacy. It's a decentralized search engine. That's YACY. Also, thank you, Philip, for being on today's show. I read many out of context tweets about you. Well, now that you heard it from his own, you can tell his character. You can get his vibe. He's very open and adamant about showing people that he's not violent. He's fighting for free speech. He's fighting for America, and that's just the simple truth. So I'm glad that you were able to come on and talk about that.
About the guy who talked about Washington D.C. I'm planning on going to Washington D.C. on the 12th. I'm actually looking into maybe starting like another Give Send Go, or just raising money off the same Give Send Go to raise money for the trip. But yeah, I want to be able to go to every single one of these protests and marches.
Yeah.
Because if it weren't for what they did to me with how they banned me and took down GoFundMe and everything, then I would be at all of them, no problem, no sweat. It wouldn't even be an issue. It wouldn't even be. I really had to be asking for help. It'd be fine.
Yeah. Do you have an email that you can give to the public right now if they want to email you directly? What do you got from? You got something?
It's philipster@live.com. PHILIPSTER at live. So LIVE.com. Philipster.
There you go. If you want to reach out to Philip, you can philipster@live.com. And feel free. I see a lot of people in chat asking how do they support. Email him and he will tell you how that we can make that happen. Red Mage 13 says, Philip, did you ever find out who the person was that knocked out your teeth? If it were me, I would want to know to confront them. You are a brave man and you have my respect for what you are doing. Can I actually answer this? All right. I want to speak for you for a second. Not only did he find out who he was, now actually I did an episode on this, Philip, because I saw it. Yeah. I was so proud of you, man. He straight up said he holds no ill will against this man for knocking his teeth out. And that is just, man, when I saw that, I was like, man, props for Philip, because the guy knocked his teeth out with pure hatred. You saw it in the video. The dude was just so emotionally enraged. And Philip said, it's fine. Like, I know that he's brainwashed. That was amazing, man. So Philip, you're an incredible person. I had to just take that from you and give you a little bit, because I know you're going to be humble about that. So
well, I'm not going to lie. I mean, like, it was, I was in a great mood during the time and everything,
yeah.
I mean, not perfect mood, obviously, but like I was in good spirits. But after a while, to where things started to die down and people started stop talking about it. And when people were talking about me, were the critics and the liars. Like, it's really sick. They know for a fact that what they're saying isn't true, and they still say it. I'm like, I don't know how you can do that. Like, there has to be something in your heart. You're just like, I can't do that, but they did it anyway.
They're convinced.
So during that time, I did lose my temper, and I'm just like, maybe we just need to, beat them. Maybe we just need to pop off at him. And I'm just like, but then I come back the next day. And this is way after this all happened, because I mean, I was really depressed. Isn't an easy thing. Like, dude, I was like, how Laura Loomer got banned, and these other people who are big to get banned like that, and they're succeeding and everything. They get reeled down in the dumps. They even get borderline suicidal. I was there. Like, they're suicidal, and I'm like, just like right here. I'm just like, they're making me out to be the bad guy, but when I'm not the bad guy. They make me out to be the guy who's calling for violence. And dude, like, I remember, like, I was in tears with how they're calling me a white supremacist. I'm telling you, dude, like, as an African immigrant, when someone calls you like a white supremacist and they smear you like that, they make fun of like your mouth and stuff on top of it all, like, I was in tears for like a couple of days. Like, it hurt very badly, dude. And
well, you don't deserve that, Philip.
They wanted me to like jump off a cliff, or slip my
Probably.
wrist. That's what they want. So when they say that they're the good guys, trust me, they're not. They're not.
Yeah. Paper City Gamer says, enjoy your shows, Adam. Or I guess you enjoy my shows. Thank you very much, Paper City Gamer Jeff. I appreciate that. That simple note says, use Discord. This was right when you got booted out off the stream for some reason. But we figured it out. I'm glad that we were able to get you back on. Mavis says, I saw a story about a coronal mass ejection from the sun 2 nights ago, and I've been having internet lagging issues since. Maybe that's what's going on. Interesting, but I feel like I would have been booted from the stream also. Yeah. That's the weird part about all this. I was still fine, and everything was working for me. Granted, I am the host, but who knows? Let's see. Tom says, I hope some of this goes to help Philip. This has been a broadcast of 2 incredibly awesome people. Thank you, Tom, very much. And I'm going to second that. Philip, you're great.
You're great, man. Thank you. I'm just thankful to be here, man. I was afraid that I was going to be erased forever. I mean, if I still had my social media and everything, I'd be like the forefront, be like the main speaker at all these stop steal things, at all. Well, it's not a thing. It's a big deal, obviously. I'm just saying it like that. But like, I have to be real careful what I say, because all my enemies, like every single little thing, I have to be so careful what you say. When they're able to call for violence against me for an entire month and say the most insane things. But me, I'm like, I have to be so careful. I'm a good guy. But if it weren't for them taking me down off everything and, just erasing my existence, then it'd be to where I would be big. I'd be at every single event, dude, even on stage like Lynn Wood and Sydney Powell. Sydney Powell. She knows me. She knows me. She was following me on Twitter and stuff. And General Flynn was following me too. Like, they even put me on QAnon and told all their digital soldiers to back me up. That was happening before they banned me, even before the whole San Francisco thing. But yeah, man, it's crazy.
Right on. Dallas Smith says, Philip, it's Dallas. We met in Vancouver at Esther Park when you spoke with my boy Joey Gibson. We're holding it down in the Pacific Northwest. Keep fighting, brother. Right on.
Hell yeah, man. I just talked to Joey Gibson on the phone earlier, just about an hour or 2 hours ago. And he's helping me look for the dental work to best options for that. So thank you for that, Joey Gibson.
Nice.
I gotta say, Patriot Prayer. It's insane how these are the nicest people. They paid for my flight to go out there. They paid for my dinner. They paid for, like, they said, drink as much as you want, eat as much as you want. We're gonna pay for it. And they protected me the entire time. Antifa didn't even dare to show up because they already knew, okay, these guys, they're not gonna let this happen. Not here. They're pissed off with how it happened. So they protected me. They treated me like I was royalty. So then they try to call Patriot Prayer, Joey Gibson and Chandler Pappas and Black Rebel, all these people try to call them white supremacists and racist. I'm like, every single time they say this, like, it's not true.
That's their go-to. That's all they got, though.
I'm like, how can you say that when they help me, when all the people who are talking all the trash, they're the ones that are making my life hell. They're the ones that are robbing me of everything. It makes no sense.
All right. Got to keep it moving, though. Sorry, we're almost out of time here. Eggman says, hey, Adam, Trump won. Beijing Biden is a Trojan horse for the Great Reset. Israel, Project Bluebeam, it's all coming. Miss you at Timcast, brother. Say no to globalized socialist communist technocracy.
Talking about how big tech is part of, globalism, the global cabal, and deep state. They are.
Alex Jones says, would you ever change your name to Clint? No, I like my name.
Alex Jones?
No, it's obviously not actually Alex.
Yeah,
It's just, at YouTube, anyone can have their name be anything. Eggman says, "Hit that like button, guys! Smash that like button! Don't just hit it, smash it! Smash it!" Philip, say it for me.
smash the like button. Smash it.
Smash! All right, smash it. I want to see some crazy like ratio. Smash to like ratio needs to be upped. Eggman again says they banned Salty from posting videos, and many people have suddenly become unsubscribed without unsubscribing. Check if you are. YouTube shady shadow tactics. Get the word out, please. I mean, I've been stuck at 176,000 subscribers for a month and a half.
And that's a fact because Instagram does the same thing. I'm telling you, every single day on Instagram, dozens of people message me saying, I unfollowed you, but I didn't unfollow you.
Right. Yeah.
Well, people say, I unfollowed you, but I didn't unfollow you. That's what they do. They
Yep.
cheat.
I get that too. New York Balls of Steel says, "Here's $5 for Philip to get a gold grill." I think that's going to be a little bit more than $5, but thank you. And then he also asks, "When's the next deep dive?" A lot of people have been asking for some deep dives to come back. It's just, it's very time consuming to do a show, especially on my own. You know,
What's the deep dive?
It's where I pick a subject, and I just figure all this information. I did a deep dive on Donald Trump. I just went all the way back to his grandfather, talked about his dad, talked about his mother, talked about his siblings, talked about him growing up, through his whole life, really just showing who he is as a person. I've done a couple other deep dives. Nikola Tesla was one. Who else did I do? Marx. Karl Marx, I did a deep dive on. So it's just really getting to the heart of certain subjects. So I don't know, but coming soon. Jan says, "Holy crankers, you repeatedly have great guests and awesome conversations, and yet your views are throttled like crazy. Less than 1% of your subs are watching. This is bull poop." I mean, there's only one thing I can do, and that is continue talking and speaking out for what I believe in, and continuing having great guests. And I don't plan on stopping. And you got a good point, Philip. You have been a fantastic guest, so we should definitely have you on again for sure. Let's see. New York Bald says, "Correction, MAGA grill." Ah, there we go. Right on. Yeah, a little cheaper maybe than the gold grill. Mike versus everyone says, "Keep doing what you both are doing. True patriots. Stay blessed, guys. I'm shouting out my new YouTube channel. Check it out. Love y'all." And that is Mike versus everyone on YouTube. Check it out. The man behind the screens says, takes great strength to literally get hit in the face, lose your teeth, find out who did it, and still hold no ill will. Much respect, Philip. Much respect.
Yeah, he's just a pawn, dude. The guy did that. He's just a pawn. He didn't know me or anything like that. They say that guy's on the right. That guy's protesting against big tech. Go.
Alex again says, "Get Owen Schroyer on as a guest." I don't know who that is, but I'll check it out.
Bro,
all right, and now before I'm going to give you the camera, talk to my viewers right now. We got just over 1,400 people hanging out with us right now. Tell them how to follow you, what your plans are. Let them know.
Hey, is there a way I can see their comments, or maybe you can tell me what they're saying?
Oh, no, I'm saying just you talking to the camera. Okay. We only got a couple minutes. Why don't you just let everyone know how to follow you, what to do, what you're up to, what's your plans for the future?
So, guys, my name is Philip Anderson, as you already know. My Parler account is at King Free Speech. That's the only social media I have. They completely have taken me off the internet to stop what was happening, just because it was going huge. It was going to be like the Republican version of like Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, but it's going to be an actual victim, an actual martyr. So that's why they had to shut it down, because they can have our real martyrs versus their fake martyrs. But yeah, you can follow me on Parler at King Free Speech. And to those of you who want to donate, I'm using GiveSendGo. You can go to givesendgo.com. Help Philip Anderson fix his teeth. Help Philip Anderson fix his teeth at GiveSendGo. And I'll echo my old post. So it'll come up at the front whenever you go to my Parler account. So you can press on that. But yeah, I just want to let you guys know it's been really hard, dude. It has been hell, because to work so hard and to always beat out the censorship, to always beat out the shadow ban, to always beat the tyranny and the oppression. and then just to get shut down completely whenever you win, whenever you're about to save America, whenever you're about to save free speech, whenever you're about to beat big tech every single time. It's really hard, but I'm not going to give up, because it's not about stardom. It's not about having these thousands and thousands of viewers, like Adam was saying. It's about saving our country. It's about saving our freedom and our rights, and just about saving ourselves, because we're not even allowed to say who we are. We're not even allowed to say what we're doing or what our goals are without the media or big tech hiding all the truth and telling lies about it. And that's why I'm fighting, so that what happened to me doesn't happen to you, and so that we can have fair and free elections again. We can't trust our elections. We can't trust the media. We can't trust big tech. We can't trust our schools. We can't trust Hollywood. We can't trust the music. We can't trust anything. That's why we're fighting. And that's why they're trying to shut us all down. Even with Adam, obviously everyone loves Adam. This guy is the best. He's like, I didn't even ask him to do all of this. And out of nowhere, this hero comes out and he's like, no, this guy, he's big time. And they always come after him just because he's winning. So, and you see how they're doing it. And Adam came and he saved me. He got Tim Pool to help me as well. But the vast majority of it has always been Adam. So I just want to say thank you so much, man, for keeping me alive, dude. And thank you to everyone who's watching, who's been supportive. Because without y'all's support, honestly, I may have given up. I might not be alive right now. I don't know. But that's how bad it is. It's heartbreaking. It's like soul crushing what these people do. It really is.
Well, stay up, Philip. We've got your back, and you know, you're on my radar, man. I'm watching your journey, and you know, we're in constant contact. You just keep me posted, and we'll keep giving you that you know, whatever you need. So thank you for joining me today, and thank you everyone for watching and for hanging out. Tomorrow I'll be back at 6:30 p.m. here on Adamcast IRL. Yeah, guys, have a great night. All right.
Thank you, everyone. Be sure to shout out Parler, King Free Speech, everywhere. Right on. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Just put it out there, post it. Thank you.
Cool. Good night, everybody.